The Bellamy Brothers, Let Your Love Flow on BBC Radio Nottingham. Oh, I've got a perk coming up in a few minutes. I love it when I talk food with you because it means I get to nibble on something delicious if our guests have brought in something edible. And today, Tony Sloan has. He is from Fellows Morton and Clayton. And to celebrate British Pie Week, we're going to be troughing our way through a couple of pies, apparently. So that's excellent news. If you are a pie maker and you've got some tips, a combination of ingredients that you think works a treat, then do let me know. Celebrating the pie. It is quite a British thing, actually, isn't it? A pie. Other countries, they don't seem to have the same love affair with pastry as we do. So, forgetting about all the calories that is in pastry and enjoying a bit of pie in just a few minutes. Good morning and happy British Pie Week. Oh, there's all sorts of weeks we've been mentioning today, all sorts of different days as well. No smoking day today. But we are now bang in the middle of British Pie Week. And it is a British thing, isn't it? Pies. How often do you go maybe to Europe, on the continent and get offered a pie? Not very often. So Tony Sloan loves a pie. He's got his own catering company, Sloan's Catering. There is a website, details later. And he also works in the kitchens of Fellows Morton and Clayton here in Nottingham. Hello, Tony.
Hi, Francis.
You've brought lovely smells with you in a picnic basket.
It smells great in here, doesn't it?
You look like Yogi Bear with one of those baskets and the sort of checkered cloth top.
I feel like saying who ate all the pies. There's quite a lot of pie here today.
Yes, you brought two.
Yeah.
I am very lucky. So, first of all, the pie. Did it get invented in Britain? Is it a British thing?
It goes all the way back. I think the first recording is the ancient Egyptians, where they'd make a makeshift pastry out of bread dough and fruit and nuts, and they'd wrap meat inside that, bake it inside in its case, and that'll keep in all the juices. And that's where pie is thought to come from. It's also in Arab cookery as well. And from then, as time moves on, the Romans brought it to Europe, and we've got it now.
Oh, so it wasn't invented here?
I don't think so, no.
Okay,
no.
But we've made it our own.
But,
we are the capital of pie making now,
and we've got
surely.
a great Cornish pasty, which is probably more like the original pie when it was first sort of brought around to being eaten and invented, really.
That's right.
Yeah.
And, they were very handy down in Cornwall, down the tin mines, because the idea of the great big crust around the edge was that they could just hold it by the crust with their dirty fingers and not get it on the rest of it. And then they'd have their sweet down one end and their savoury up the other.
I've never seen one of those, though, have you? I've never seen a sweet one and a savoury one in between.
No, they don't tend to make them and sell them now. But like apple, you could have apple, couldn't you, down one end?
Yeah.
They're delicious. But the problem, Tony, is pastry is so fattening.
It is.
If you're not a miner doing physical work...
That's right. Which is an awful lot of our food since the Industrial Revolution. We need a lot of calories, and we don't need to burn off that energy now. But as part of a balanced diet, why not? Why not try something like that?
I know, because at least, the pies that we are used to eating in pubs, restaurants and so on, they tend to just have a top now.
Yeah, that's called a top crust. It's just a top crust pie.
So at least you're cutting down that calorific input by, a good 2/3, aren't you?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Because if you encase it, there's quite a lot of surface area there.
All right, then. A minute on the lips, a lifetime on the hips. But they are so delicious. Who cares? From time to time, as you say. Football grounds, they sell pies. Yeah, of course, there's the burgers, but there's the pies as well. The Magpie... I'm just thinking football now and linking what you're about to say. Notts County, the Magpies, they serve pies. There's a link between pies and magpies, you think?
I didn't realise Notts County we call them magpies, is that right?
Oh, Tony, behave yourself.
Apparently that's where the word pie comes from. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but magpie, with the association of magpie and magpies picking up lots of different things and taking it back to the nest, it's that same principle with pies. You can actually put anything in a pie, and pie recipes go on forever, really, can't they? You can put anything in a pie, and apparently that's where the word pie comes from. It's a derivative of magpie.
Well, that's
by association.
Theory. That's a theory.
Yeah, it's
Why
a theory.
Not? We'll have that.
Whether you want to go with that or not is up to you, I think.
Now, on our website, you will see recipes for two pies that Tony will talk about in a second. We're going to have a beef and ale pie and a lovely ham and leek pie. So, if you want to have a look, bbc.co.uk/Nottingham. click on Radio Nottingham and then today's show. The recipe's in there. And we'll talk about how to make them. And I'll get my chops round a couple as well in just a sec. It's 18 minutes past 11 now, though.
What can you get these days for free?
I don't know of anything you can get for free, no.
No, I think... My goodness. Sometimes this job is really hard to do. Tony, this is delicious. What's the name of your man that makes these pies?
Simon Pongetti. He's in the kitchen at the moment. He's just baked them off for you.
Simon, you are a genius.
Yeah.
The tops,
they're great, aren't they?
Crust, well, they're all golden, and it's puff pastry, isn't it?
Yes.
And it's kind of... I don't like those pies you get in pubs where they've puffed up to about 6 inches high, and you put your knife and fork in, and they sort of explode, and you don't get any of that nice, you know, loveliness, which I've got right in front of me. There's a big basket in front of me with 2 enormous pie dishes full, and unless this is wrestled out of my grip, both of these could end up inside me, and that would not be good for anyone. So
you've got to try the beef and ale pie.
Okay, I've just tried the ham and leek.
Definitely a speciality of ours.
Oh, this is so sort of, well, it's not. It's difficult to explain. It's like a casserole with a top on the top, so it's not dry in any way, and I don't like dryness. So talk me through the leek and ham. How are you getting to this stage then? The ingredients to begin with. What are you putting in?
Well, we chop a load of onions, and we sweat them down to a little bit opaque, a little bit translucent. Then we add the leek, and we sweat them down a little bit more with some butter. Splash of white wine, reduce that down slightly. Some plain flour. Previously to that, though, we cook a ham for about 3 hours, and then we cool that down, take off the fat, dice it, and then we chuck that in there as well. We infuse some milk with star anise, a bay leaf, and an onion and some cloves, and then we put that into the pie mixture. That absorbs into the flour, and you've got a nice pie mixture there.
It is so out of this worldly delicious. And if you want to buy your puff pastry, it's so easy to do now. You go into a shop, you hand your money over, you take the roll of pastry home.
It's the only pastry, really, that, you know, if you want to do it, you can do it, but it takes a long time to do, and it's a lot of work.
All right, well, I can recommend this. That is delish. So then you've got your beef and ale. Now, because it's British Pie Week this week, and I know at your pub you've put quite a few pies on the menu, but the beef and ale is always on because that's popular, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the standard one. It's certainly something that we specialise in. It's very good.
And these pies are flying out at the moment. You reckon you're selling just loads of them this week?
Half the trade from Monday to today.
Yeah.
Yesterday, sorry, is just pies. We have 5 different pies on there at the moment. Fisherman's pie.
Yeah.
Which has got some great smoked haddock in there, which gives it that smoky base flavour. Then we've got the steak and ale, of course. Then we've got curry chicken pie. I mean, where'd you see that nowadays? And
football grounds.
Do you?
Yeah.
Simon told me that. Didn't you, Simon? I remember now.
True, yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Go on.
They are definitely our most popular. We've got the curry chicken pie.
Curry chicken is the most popular.
Curry chicken and the beef and ale are the most popular. But the beef and ale is certainly the most popular. And we use our own ales there as well, which are good quality.
You can really taste the ale in this.
Yeah.
Delicious.
There's a little trick there that you should incorporate when you're making the beef and ale pie.
Yeah.
Marinate the beef with the ale.
Good idea.
Yeah, and that helps tenderise it as well. And but reserve some of the beer. So at the very, very end, when you're finishing off your pie mix, you add a little bit more beer into the mix, and that brings up the beer flavour even more. So you can taste it in the meat, you can taste it in the sauce, and it tastes amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
You need this recipe, and it's yours online, bbc.co.uk/Nottingham, Radio Nottingham, and then today's show. And the great thing is, with pies, anything that you cook slowly, I know a ham is perhaps a little bit different, but, you know, it's braising steak in here, so it doesn't have to cost you the earth. And you get such a lovely end result. You've just put a bit of time and a bit of love into them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it's all about. And there's a little bit of a difference with that one. On the website, I've put short crust pastry as the recipe, but with the one that you've got there, what we actually do in the pub is we make a suet topping.
Oh,
so
pudding.
more calories.
Yeah.
But we make a flour and suet pastry. So as you would with a steak and kidney pudding, but we actually make that as the topping instead, and it's delicious.
So what are the pies then that are in your family recipe book? Ours, both on my dad's side of the family and on my husband's, you know, in his family, meat and potato pie.
Yeah.
So, either with great big bits of potato or sliced potato. My nan from Sheffield, she puts great big bits of potato in. the Nottingham family, they slice theirs.
Yeah.
How do you do yours?
I slice them, yeah.
Yeah.
And hot pot pie is really nice. Lamb hot pot. If you make a hot pot and put a pastry on top of that and finish,
Yes.
that is delicious, honestly.
That is nice.
But it's very big with pork pies around here, isn't it? You know, melt
yeah,
and mouldy
true.
pork pie. The melting pork.
I'm not such a fan of pork pies, I have to
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Really pleased that you brought in proper pies, as I call them.
Yeah, homemade.
Thank you so much, Tony. And your catering business is going well alongside the pub, and you're getting quite a demand for dinner parties at home. People want to pay you to come in and do their dinner parties.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, and
Amazed at that, really, in a
I'm
recession.
designing quite a few different menus for different people, depending on the occasion. And yeah, it's going quite well actually. It's going
Good
very
for you. All right then. Well,
Thank you.
Tony's details on our website as well. Tony Sloan from Fellows Morton and Clayton, and also Sloan's Catering. Thank you so much, and thank you, Simon. Delish. I put a picture of these pies on Twitter, by the way. Have a look on Twitter. You'll see how gorgeous they look. I'm not making it up. Follow me at Francis Finn Show. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Francis.
28 minutes past 11.